segment of the show for today. The topic is youth violence and intentional injuries, and we're talking to Alana McLaughlin, who has already given us some information in reference to two more famous cases of intentional injuries and youth violence, indicating that not all injuries are intentional, but there are some that continue to intentionally harm other people, and I think that you've got some additional information that you wish to bring to us in reference to a hologram. Is that?
Yes.
Why don't you explain that to our audience?
Tupac Shakur, everybody knows that Tupac Shakur was caught in a drive-by shooting in 1996 and died September 13th in 96. So everybody knows that Tupac was dead. He's been dead for over 15 years. So at the Coachella Sunday night, Tupac performed as a hologram there, and it brought tears to many people. And I would like to show you the video, but I'm not sure if you can see it, so I was trying to.
Well, just explain it to exactly what is this.
The video is of Tupac with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, and as they perform live on stage, Tupac is in a hologram, and a hologram is like a computer image of mainly deceased people, but it's an image of people that you can control to do like. Another reference to prove that was a hologram performing on stage, not just not regular Tupac, because he's been dead. When Tupac died in 96, a few years afterwards, the Coachella was first built. Now, the Coachella didn't exist when Tupac was alive in his lifespan. So how could he yell Coachella in his performance when he died a few years before before the Coachella even existed? So that's another proof, and that's another sentence of proof to show that how people can bring up holograms for one of the most notorious rappers of all time. Like he's been called Pac, Concrete Rose, and
Concrete Rose. Exactly what does that mean? I mean, you mentioned that on a number of occasions. Exactly.
Actually, Tupac was born in hood. It was a not so perfect place, and he grew up to be one of the biggest rappers of our generation, of our decade. So they call him a rose that was blooming out of concrete. So like he's the rose, and his concrete is where he's all been his lifespan, and he just blooms out of that, and he just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's why Tupac Shakur is also known as Pac and Concrete Rose.
Very good, and of course you know of many of these individuals who are significant and play very important parts in terms of, you mentioned Dr. Dre and Dr. Dre and several others. Who are these individuals, and how do you relate to these individuals within your school? I mean, are they people your age thinking about dealing with Tupac and other individuals of that nature?
Referring back to the Coachella performance, Snoop Dogg was with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, and Tupac was with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. So when he was performing, he performed two songs with Snoop Dogg, Ain't Nothing But a Gangster Party and Hail Mary. So as he performed those two, Snoop Dogg was on stage, you know, with them doing what Tupac usually does. And if you've never seen Tupac, he had a tattoo across his chest, the stomach area, that said Thug Life, and it was just around here like in a kind of a U shape. And later to figure out, he also had an album named Thug Life. So current star Rihanna took that to her own because she cried during the Coachella performance. So she went to a tattoo artist and got Thug Life on her wrists, on her knuckles, kind of in this area. So Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, now Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre are common names in the 20th century nowadays. And Tupac, people will never forget Tupac. I mean, Tupac has put an influence on people. People will not forget Tupac. I mean, Tupac will never be forgot. I mean, he may be dead, but his legacy lives on. So Tupac will be remembered, and I can assure you that anybody in my class really knows who Tupac is.
So everybody, that's a well-known hero in a real sense among people. A regular name, a well-known name among people of your age and in your group. Now, do you think that he can have any good influence on these young people, or what kind of influence you think some of these individuals are?
Tupac didn't he didn't have many influences, but his one influence, referring to his name Concrete Rose, was that you could be born in the hood, and you could be born to a poor family, you could be on welfare, and you could be one of the biggest names in the decade, in the generation, like Tupac did. So I would take that as an influence to do whatever you can. It doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter where you'll be. It matters that you're determined to be who you want to be, and determine why you want to be it, and determine that you can do it. So don't ever think that you can't, because you can.
Well, when you talk about intent